Here we go. Austin Garrison on the inside. Joe Turney on the outside. We're racing down to turn number 1 for X30 Pro. It's a good start for Paulie Massimino. He'll slot to second, Turney third, Dalton Haynes to fourth, and Brandon Carr is side by side with ADT as he gets shuffled wide. One driver way off the racetrack at the top of the hill in turn 3, but the rest of the field is good through 4.
Yeah, it seems like Ryan Norberg had a pretty good start, already making some moves for ADT as well. Looks to be just on the edge of the top 5, in the top 5, I should say. P5 here at the moment with a couple of others in company. There's Turney, looked for the move on Paulie Massimino, wasn't close enough that time by. Yeah, Hayden Jones not too far back. Let's see if anybody looks for a move. Haynes on the inside of Joe Turney. Dalton Haynes able to get clear up to P3, and they have to work together now and not let Paulie Massimino and Austin Garrison run away here early on. A very long race, only a lap down, 23 laps to go.
Here comes Paulie looking for the lead. Garrison blocking low and keeps him pinned on the inside. That was a good attempt and a good defensive move. A lot of respect shown there by both drivers to not make any contact, but that got tight and just brought Haynes and Turney back into the mix as Haynes sends it on Massimino in 11. Dalton Haynes up to P2. Here comes Turney on Paulie. Turn 1 looking inside, clear, and that right there is the difference.
Yeah, stacked that group up quite well, Ryan Norberg. And there goes Hayden Jones on the inside of Josh Holtz. Hayden Jones gets clear, but Brandon Lemke trying to take advantage, picks up the scraps, gets the move done on Jones. Jacob Kolar in that group as well.
Garrison the leader. Last time a 48.19 across the line. Haynes is close. Oh, whoa. Turn 1, new leader. Dalton Haynes through.
Ryan Norberg already making moves, up in a 7th with Brandon Carr right behind him. Up in a 6th, for Ryan Norberg.
Yeah, he got around Carr at the end of the backstretch. Austin Garrison not good early. He said he felt like he had a long run car, and right now he's trying to hang on to it as Turney hops the front tire of Austin Garrison, and he gets it Norberg. Norberg around in turn 9. Ryan Norberg out. Entering the double right-hander, the number 1 plate, trying to avoid the chaos of Joe Turney and Austin Garrison, and the reigning series champ is facing the tire wall.
This has just blown a hole through this race. Dalton Haynes, your leader, with a big gap back to Paulie Massimino and Alessandro Di Tullio on what's been an off weekend for that Inter MS team, finds himself in the top 3 and a shot with the win with Joe Turney falling way down the order, as well as Austin Garrison, all the veterans in this class falling way back to field.
Garrison has faded. I don't know if that bent the tie rod on the SCR Red Speed. He's right in front of Harley Keeble, right behind Josh Holtz and Jacob Kolar, and behind Keeble is, hey Lee, look at all the mud on that black and white machine. Keeble to the inside, Kolar to the inside of Holtz as well, and Jacob Kolar is now in the 8th spot as he gets back around Holtz, who fought with him the previous lap. Keeble trying to move up the grid from 17th. Here he goes inside on Josh Holtz, and another spot cleared for Sodi's Harley Keeble.
Joe Turney goes quicker and quicker every single lap, lapping 2/10 quicker than the 3 drivers ahead of him. So for Joe Turney, going to look to go on a fellow Kart Republic here in ADT.
Here's Massimino with a great exit out of 9. Di Tullio not so much, and that's going to open the door. Joe Turney back down the inside in 11. You can cool them back down by slowing the pace, easing your entry into the corners, and then still have some good laps at the end. Either way, though, he needs something because Paulie is going to the front. Massimino through turn number 4. Paulie Massimino leads the way. Dalton Haynes second, and Joe Turney still play that Jaws theme right now. He is closing up to the top 2 into turn 8, and no moves yet. 9 laps to go. Lemke picked off another 10th last time by, 1.6 seconds away.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Xander, he's been doing that quite often. There goes Haynes on the inside of Paulie Massimino into the bull. Dalton Haynes retakes the lead, and that's all going to help out Brandon Lemke. There goes Massimino.
Wow, that got tight. Massimino tried to surprise Haynes in 5, and they both had to jam on the brakes there. Now everybody's on the low side. Look at Di Tullio around the outside. He will get to second by turn 9.
Paulie Massimino falls back to 3rd, and there you have it. Dalton Haynes starting to defend Brandon Lemke side by side with Joe Turney, who's ahead by a bumper. Brandon Lemke going to have the inside in 11. Brandon Lemke gets clear and up to the top 4.
Now Haynes all the way to the low side to block. Di Tullio opening up. He sends it around the outside again, trying to cross him over up the hill to 3. He's got to run. Haynes still covers that off, and that's going to back the entire field up. Can Di Tullio get there? Massimino's going to rip the high side. Let's see if it works. Not this time. Di Tullio moves Dalton Haynes out of the way. ADT with a bump and run in turn 4. Lemke's on the outside, but he'll take third. And Alessandro DeTulio leads us into turn 8.
And I tell you what, Dana, there's a big pack of karts not too far back. Brandon Lemke at the helm here with Jacob Kolar, Hayden Jones, Harley Keeble. Oh, there's DeTulio.
DeTulio parking it. Haynes giving the bumper right back to him through turn 9. Lemke is shuffled to the high side. Here comes Joe Turney. He'll follow Dalton to the bottom. Paulie Massimino, a big over-under. Still a bit too tight of an arc. Lemke 4th, Massimino 5th. Here comes the rest of the pack. It is Brandon Carr. Austin Garrison was crashed earlier. Has a completely brown and muddy rear bumper. He's 7th. Then it's Kolar, Jones, Keeble. Here comes Haynes. Inside turn 4 and to the lead once again.
Dalton Haynes able to get clear. Joe Turney goes through as well, up in a 3rd. Brandon Lemke stuck on the outside there for a 2nd, up in a 4th. And Austin Garrison on the rear bumper of Paulie Massimino here. So a lifeline for Austin Garrison and a second chance has everybody. Brandon Carr around the outside. 10 karts in this lead group.
This is tight here, folks. They're all on the bottom side, hoping to get a little gap so they can go back to the normal line. Still a good amount of things can change as Joe Turney's got to run. Here we go, down the backstretch to the lead. Joe Turney in turn 4.
Joe Turney takes the lead there, and DeTulio again closing down the gap to the top 2 here.
Brandon Lemke is all over the rear bumper of Alessandro DeTulio right now. Lemke to 3rd in turn number 4. Brandon Lemke trying to prove that he can still get it done. Yeah, and Haynes again, great launch out of turns 1 and 2. He could pick him apart at any moment. Down the back straightaway, no move there. Big move from Garrison. He's back up to 4th. The pole sitter went all the way back to the edge of the top 10 and now is trying to march his way forward. He's blocking low here with 4 to go. It's going to bring the field close. DeTulio saw that, and look at Haynes there. Little love tap into 9. That allows Lemke to get alongside, and Brandon Lemke, can he get through on Dalton? Dalton trying to find a hole. He does. Back on the inside of Lemke at 11. Joe Turney with a big lead. Haynes hits the barrier. Dalton Haynes into the wall. Dalton Haynes into the wall in front of the field. Tagging the wall in turn 11, and now Brandon Lemke, the fastest kart on the racetrack the last few laps, is 2nd, and he needs to track down a massive gap to Joe Turney over these next 2.5 laps. He needs more, 2/10 a lap at least to get to Turney here with a half-second margin.
Yeah, need to pull something out of the bag here for Brandon Lemke, who's closing.
Brandon Lemke, so fast. Good moves all the way through. It might feel like a bit of a woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it's still his best weekend so far since getting back in. And for Joe Turney, welcome back. Joe Turney wins in Mooresville on his first race back in the States.
What a drive by Joe Turney to go back to the top of the box in the U.S. Brandon Lemke, what a race by him. The kid from Wisconsin, finishing 2nd in ADT. The best that we've seen from him all weekend long, finishing P3.